Our first question today comes from Zion. Zion asks, do gerunds always end in ing? And is singing in the sentence, my mom is singing, a gerund? Well, Zion, this is a great question. And the short answer is that yes, gerunds always end in ing, but not all words that end in ing are gerunds. Let me show you what I mean. Let me pull up our chat. Let me pull up our whiteboard. Okay, so I have two sentences here. My mom is singing, and my mom likes singing. Now let's take a look at these sentences. So in the sentence that you gave us, Zion, you asked, is the word singing in the sentence my mom is singing a gerund? And in this case, is singing is actually a verb phrase. Two or more verbs that work together. The first of these verbs, let me underline it for you here. Let's use this color. First of these verbs is what's called an auxiliary verb or a helping verb, because it helps the principal verb, the second verb, which in this case is the participle singing, to do its work. In this case, singing is the principal verb in the verb phrase is singing, and it's what's called a present participle. All verbs have a present participle or a present participle form, and this form is simply the ing form in the present tense: singing, talking, laughing, dancing, and so on. So anytime we see the ing form of a verb, we know that it is at least a participle. A gerund, by extension, is a participle that is being used not as a verb, but as a noun. For example, here is a second sentence. My mom likes singing. Now here we can ask the question, what of the verb likes? My mom likes what? My mom likes singing. Therefore, singing is the direct object of the transitive verb likes. It therefore is acting as a noun. So we know that this ing form of the verb sing is in fact a gerund. A gerund is the present participle of a verb being used as a noun. Now let me close this so I can see you again, see all of you here in the Zoom room, and see if there are any questions about that. Let me give you one more example, because I find that with terms like gerund or present participle, it's easy to get lost in the terminology. We don't normally speak about gerunds. We don't normally speak about present participles, but they name things that we do in language all the time. So here are two more example sentences. Because it's April, it's springtime, it's the beginning of spring, I can say a sentence like, the trees are flowering. Now here we have the ing form of flowering, or of the verb to flower. Because it's the ing form, we know that it is a present participle. And in this case, notice that we are using it with the auxiliary or the helping verb are flowering. Therefore, you know that in this case, the participle flowering is being used as a principal verb. Therefore, it is not a gerund, even though it is a present participle. Now contrast that with this second sentence. Flowering is a sign of springtime. Here we have the present participle flowering, but it is being used as a gerund because it is being used as the subject of the sentence, flowering is. Flowering is what? Flowering is a sign of springtime. Furthermore, because it is the subject of the sentence, flowering is being used as a noun. So now we have our gerund, present participle being used as a noun. So before we end this question, I'd like all of you here, or those of you watching this afterwards, to just take a moment, close your eyes if you will, and just can you think of or remember in your own direct experience a time when someone around you may have used a word in the ing form, a verb in the ing form, to refer to an activity, but as a thing, like my mom likes singing, or flowering is a sign of springtime. And see if you can contrast that with an example of using an ing form as a verb, like I am singing, I am flowering. The more you can connect these terms, like gerund or participle, to your own direct experience of language, the more useful these terms will become to you, and the more clearly you will be able to see what they are trying to help you to see. Let me know, Zion, if that answers your question, and I'll look forward to following up with you or listening to any other questions you may wish to ask.